How did you know about all those? I found another one on top of that projector. But they took them down, and then I think they went and put them on people's antennas in the parking lot.
Oh.
Which?
What grade?
What grade of antennas?
Your grade?
It was Keeson and Christian. I think Christian something.
I think it was both.
You were in it. Did you see it?
They tried to hit me with some type of reaction or something. I didn't even notice. It was kind of lame. I didn't even notice the bananas.
Put them on all the cars.
I just said that, Leighton. Are you listening to music right now? Are you zoning me out?
Yep.
No, AirPods out. You gotta listen.
A lot of people.
Gee, I know. A lot of people. Yeah, the one AirPod. Ridiculous. Okay, here's what we're looking at today. Sorry, virtual students. All that entertainment was for free. You don't have to subscribe even for that. So, here's the type of, that's a little bit sideways, but this is the types of problems that we'll be looking at today, where instead of having just some type of expression, right, what we've seen in the past is that instead of having an equal sign, we had like a plus sign or something like that, and we have to go through finding common denominators and all that junk. What we're doing now is solving. So when we are done with solving this, we will have x equals something. We will actually get an answer now, not just leave it as some expression. So if I give you, well, let's backtrack for a second. Shouldn't use big numbers. If I gave you a problem like this right here, how would we go about solving this? Right here. What do you think? Yeah, we want to cross multiply. That's what Maya's saying, but without saying it. We want to cross multiply. So 4 times 9 equals 10 times x. Cross multiplying gets rid of our fractions. You will use cross multiplying for the rest of your math career because it rocks. So we cross multiply to clear our fractions. Now 4 times 9 would be 36. And then we would divide by 10, right? So like Maya said, really what we end up getting is 4 times 9 divided by 10. But I think showing those steps, well, we'll need to show those steps to be able to solve the rational equations that we're looking at today. When we look at the problems from today, we will be doing the same thing. We look, since we have an equal sign, we are allowed to cross multiply, okay? What happens, we just took a test in Algebra 2, and there were problems just like this. In Algebra 2, they also had problems like this, and then they think, oh, there's 2 fractions, that means I can cross multiply. No. We can only cross multiply when we have an equal sign in the middle. Okay, so that's one thing that we need to make sure we keep straight. If we have plus or minus or whatever in the middle, then we need to get common denominators. If we have multiplication in the middle, then we can look to cancel and multiply across. When we have an equal sign in the middle, we have an equation, and we're solving for x, and we are allowed to cross multiply. So maybe right now that doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but when we get like on the review tomorrow, you're going to have signs with equals or problems with equal signs, addition, subtraction. It's harder to keep straight. So we need to make sure we are only cross multiplying with an equal sign. Leighton, what is the only time we're allowed to cross multiply? Yeah, good job. So we cross multiply. Now another common mistake that people make is they forget to distribute, kind of like we talked about earlier. We need to make sure we distribute the 5. distribute the 5. Oh, whoops, that's 4. Yeah, I was going to say this is not going to turn out well. Also, I didn't distribute the 5. And we're just at this point, we're just solving a regular equation that we've been doing for a long time. I would subtract 4x from both sides. And x would equal 36. So, like I said, after we cross multiply and flatten out the fractions, we're just solving like we have for a really, really long time. So nothing over the top there. You guys have any questions? Let's look at another example. The first thing I need to do is get common denominators, right? Right, Maya? First thing. No! No, only when we add or subtract. We have an equal sign. So what are we going to do, Joe? We have an equal sign. We're going to cross multiply. I'm so glad you said yes. We're cross multiplying. So we have y times y minus 2 equals 5 times 7. Now we need to distribute. We have y squared. Uh-oh. We have a y squared and a y. What do we know that we're going to have to do eventually, probably? Factor. So we can look forward to that. Equals 35. Now, like I said, we've got a y squared and a y. So what do we need to get this bad boy set equal to? What? No! We have a y squared and a y. Guys, y squared and a y. How are we going to solve this? We're going to have to factor. So what do we need this to be set equal to factor? No! When have we ever factored when it's y equals y squared plus blah? No, not x. That's worse than y. Skylar, please help. What do we need this set equal to?
0?
Yes! Good job! Thank you. Holy smokers. You guys, it's been a long weekend, I guess.
It has. It really has.
We need to get it set equal to 0. So we have 0 equals y squared. We'll bring 35 to the other side. 2y minus 35. It's a good thing you got that right, Skylar. Otherwise, we're going to have to go back to factoring.
Minus 7 plus 5.
Good. Y and y minus 7 plus 5. That would give us negative 7 times 5 gives us negative 35. Negative 7 plus 5 gives us negative 2. Very good. So that means y equals Lily would have known that right away. Mario would have known that. I know that because she's finishing her quiz.
There's only 4 of us in here. Is this
5.
just... Oh, Faith doesn't
Faith is here. But the point is, do you see how in this red, we just straight up solve for x, right? There's no x squared, nothing weird. We just use the algebra to solve for x. Here we had a y squared and all that kind of stuff, so we got to factor, practice our factoring. So we might have to do a little bit of factoring. Let's see, are there any other types of problems we might see? Oh, yeah, okay. So we have z over z minus 2.
It's like 2.
You can set your quiz right up here, Maury. You're just in time. We needed you about 10 seconds ago.
I got it though.
You did. Good job. So we have z over z minus 2 minus 2/3 equals 2/3. Z's I put the little, yeah, equals 2 over z minus 2. We're learning how to solve some equations. All right, you're just in time. So, we cannot cross multiply right away, okay? We need this side to be one term before we're allowed to cross multiply. So, what do we need to do to combine those two fractions on the left side? In order to subtract those, we need to get what? Common denominators. Very good. What is our LCD, or least common denominator, going to be? We have a 3 and we have z minus 2. Layton, what's it going to be? What do you think? Participating in class is the worst. Come on, you got it.
No.
You don't know?
No.
Okay. We have to multiply them together. It's going to be 3z minus 2. There's our common denominator right there. Is that what you did on the quiz, Amari?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So if that's going to be our common denominator, 3z minus 2, what do we need to do to get this fraction to have that denominator? You multiply it top and bottom by 3. So the bottom we already multiplied by 3. If we multiply the top by 3, we get 3z minus. Now what are we going to do? What is this fraction missing? Yeah, it's missing a z minus 2. So we know on the bottom we have 3z minus 2 over 2 z minus 2. Now I know this looks like a lot, right? It looks like there's a lot going on. But we have already, for a few days, been simplifying things like this, okay? So it is a long problem, but we've been doing this stuff for a few days now, and it's not too bad. If we simplify the left side of our equation, we know that 3z minus 2 is going to be in the denominator. Now we have 3z minus 2 over z minus 2. Now my 2's are starting to look like z's. Now how are we going to simplify? What do we need to do first to simplify the numerator here on the left side? What do we need to do?
Simplify the numerator, top part.
Yep. We need to distribute. So we have 3z minus 2z plus 4. And how can we simplify that?
3z minus 2z.
Yeah. Give us negative z plus 4. I didn't write our denominator there just because now that we have it down to just a fraction, equal sign and a fraction, what can we do? What?
Cross multiply.
Yeah, cross multiply. Good job. Oh, no, it's not. It should not be. Good catch. Now, I'll tell you right now, there are not going to be very many problems like this, but I do think that it's worth showing and worth seeing. These are more the types of problems that you'll see when you get to Algebra 2. So it's not my main concern right now. I do want to go through this one and finish going through it just so you can see how you do have all the skills to do it. It just takes a lot of time. What do we need to do to simplify the left side? We need to FOIL. Z squared plus 2z minus 8 would be what we get FOILed out. We need to distribute here. Oops, to multiply. We're in the final stretch. What do we need to do? We got a z squared and a z. What do we need to get it set equal to, Amari? If we have a z squared and a z, we know that we can't just solve for z, so what do we need to get it set equal to? Come on, what do we need to get this whole thing set equal to? We have a z squared and a z.
0. Dang it, Layton!
He knew. That's what he was going to say. We need it to be set equal to 0 so that we can FOIL. Minus 4z. Then we're going to add 12. Again, that is a very, very long problem, right? Most of what we see, I'll scroll back in a second. Most of what we will see is not going to be this extensive.
We got like 3 or 4.
1.5. What? There's the page mark right there. That lighter gray. There's 1. 1.5. No!
I counted 4.
You're not even in this class. We will see problems where we have to first combine our fractions, but there's not going to be a ton of them that are going to take a page and a half. Okay? But I do want you to see how you guys can do that. Like, you're very capable of solving those with the skills that you already have. Okay. Let's see, we've got a story problem, which we're not going to go over right now. Do you guys want the worksheet, or do you want to do a problem that I need to check first?
Worksheet.
I kind of want to check them first. I do like this class. All right, the worksheet, we can go to the worksheet. Virtual students, you're allowed to go to the worksheet now.